Golden State Warriors News Today channel. Take the opportunity to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go to today's news.
Imagine this scenario. Stephen Curry, the man who transformed the NBA with impossible shots and an unbreakable heart, enters Game 7 not just to win, but to prove that time has not beaten him yet. While the world's eyes are fixed on the scoreboard, the real battle is happening behind the scenes in San Francisco, where the franchise's future is being redesigned piece by piece. Curry shined with 29 points, but he also showed something rarer than a corner three: fatigue. For the first time in a long while, we saw the hero look human. And still, he smiled. He said, "I feel great," but followed it up with a phrase that carries the weight of an era. If you don't come in with the right mindset, you're already on vacation. That wasn't just a warning. It was a challenge. And also a reminder. Because today, the team around Steph is different. Chris Paul and Klay Thompson have become memories. Beside him now are young players still trying to figure out who they are, while playing under the living shadow of a legend. And up above, in the hallways of the Chase Center, the mood is no longer one of mourning, but calculation. Some say that a loss now could trigger the biggest restructuring since 2014. Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are valuable, wanted by half the league. The front office is torn between two paths, going all in for 2 more years with Curry at the center of everything, or starting to prepare a new cycle, accepting the end of a glorious era. But how do you erase a chapter without tearing out the whole book? What's at stake is not just a series against Minnesota. It's the soul of a franchise. It's the courage to keep alive an identity built on boldness. The same boldness that once believed in a skinny point guard. The same boldness that changed the game forever. And while rivals watch every move, knowing any Warriors' decision could shake the entire market, the chessboard starts to shift. Quiet negotiations, possible trades, names circulating in silence. The next Western Conference super team might just be born from the collapse of the current one. So I ask you, fan, do you believe Stephen Curry can still be the heart of one more title run? Or is it time to make room for a new chapter? Leave your opinion in the comments, because what comes next might be the end, or an even more epic beginning. Because while Game 7 was won with sweat, grit, and the last fumes of an exhausted roster, the real season, the one that defines the destiny of a franchise, began the very next minute. There's no time for celebration. Every board meeting, every phone call between executives, every conversation among agents and scouts is part of a bigger plan. And on this new chessboard, Stephen Curry is the king, untouchable, but increasingly surrounded by pieces in constant rotation. He still plays with that sparkle in his eyes, still defies logic. But even the gods of the game have physical limits. At 37, Curry needs more than desire. He needs support. He needs a structure that lets his genius continue to flourish, not just survive. That's why names are starting to surface. Trades involving young players with high ceilings. Offers for stars quietly available in certain markets. A renewed look at the draft. And above all, the toughest question. Is it possible to build the future without erasing the past? Fans are divided. Some want one last dance, even if it costs tomorrow. Others prefer the controlled pain of transition before collapse happens on its own. But everyone, absolutely everyone, feels this is a unique moment. Historic. Decisive. Because rebuilding doesn't mean forgetting. It means having the courage to admit even the greatest stories need a new beginning. And maybe in this next chapter, Curry will still be the protagonist, but surrounded by new talents who grew up admiring his legacy. The NBA watches. The rivals prepare. And the Warriors take a deep breath. The summer in San Francisco won't be quiet. It'll be full of decisions, rumors, meetings, and who knows, explosive announcements. An era may be ending, but the flame Curry lit can still ignite a new generation. Warriors News Fan Update will be with you every step of the way. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a like, because the end of a dynasty might feel like the final chapter, but sometimes it's only the prologue to something even greater. And as rumors flood the backstage, one truth looms silently over the Chase Center. There is no choice without consequence. If the Warriors decide to keep Curry at the center, they'll have to part with valuable assets, promising youth, maybe even draft picks that could shape the future. It's a high-risk gamble, but one with high reward. Because with Stephen in charge, everything still feels possible. And history has shown underestimating him is always a mistake. But if the path is different, if the franchise chooses to begin a true rebuild, seeking new leaders, new talents, and a style more adapted to the league's future, then, for the first time in over a decade, we may see a Golden State without Curry as the central figure. And just imagining that, the fan feels the weight of what's at stake. This is not just another off-season. It's a turning point. Because behind every name floated in trade talks, behind every quiet negotiation with other franchises, lies the attempt to answer a question that haunts every great empire. How do you say goodbye to an era without letting the greatness fade? Steph has always been more than a player. He is a symbol, a philosophy, an entire culture built on boldness, precision, and magic. And even as time marches on, there is something that does not age, the fans' faith. Faith that there's still one more dance. Faith that he can still silence arenas. Faith that this story is not yet over. And here at Warriors News Fan Update, we'll follow every step, every decision, every clue about what's coming. Because if this is the end, it will be a worthy end. But if it's a new beginning, let it be with the same boldness that turned an underestimated team into the greatest dynasty of the modern era. So tell us, would you hold on to Curry for one more run at glory? Or is it time to pass the torch to the next generation? Leave your comment, share with other fans, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and like this video, because the next era of the Warriors is being written now, and you'll follow it all here with us. Warriors News Fan Update, where legacy meets the future. And as a Warriors fan, I confess, it's impossible to watch this moment without a lump in my throat. We grew up watching the impossible happen with Stephen Curry. He's not just the greatest shooter of all time, he's the heart of this franchise, the symbol of everything that made us dream. We saw him turn a doubted team into a dynasty, and more than that, he gave us identity. But reality knocks on the door. And as painful as it is to say, you can feel time taking its toll. The roster no longer has the same energy, the same consistency. And while Steph's talent still shines, he needs help. Pieces that can carry the weight of the greatness he shouldered alone for so long. It's hard to think about rebuilding. It's hard to imagine a Warriors team without Curry running the show. But maybe the greatest respect we can show this story is to understand that it needs to evolve. That if we're going to give our number 31 last title, it must be with courage, with real reinforcements, and with the boldness that has always defined us. If it's time to start over, let it be with dignity, with vision, with a structure that honors the past, but embraces the future. Because in the end, what truly matters is keeping alive the flame that Curry ignited. And whatever the next chapter is, I'll be here, cheering, believing, ready to celebrate as always. And that's why this off-season isn't just another chapter. It carries the weight of a generation. It's the crossroads between what we were and what we might become again. As a fan, I don't want to see Curry's ending in Golden State fade quietly. I want to see the story honored until the last game, the last shot, the last applause. And if we are to start over, let it be with the courage that brought us this far. Let it be with difficult choices, yes, but made with the same bold spirit that once believed in that skinny point guard who changed the game forever. And the most incredible thing is knowing that even after 4 titles, countless memories, and historic moments, Stephen still has that spark, that fire, that drive. And that's why, as long as he's on the court, I will believe. Because being a Warriors fan was never about the easy path. It was about believing when no one else did. It was about defying the odds. It was about writing a story no one expected. And now, more than ever, that story needs a new chapter. So if you feel it too, if you believe there's still one last dance or maybe a brand new beginning, subscribe here to Warriors News Fan Update, turn on the bell, like the video, and drop a comment. Are you ready for what's coming? Because one thing is certain, the future of the Warriors won't be quiet. It will be legendary.